All right, what's good, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can systemize your content, how you can make a lot of money just, having a YouTube channel from having a YouTube channel. And genuinely speaking, this has not been a better opportunity right now for all the creators to hop on from Instagram, Twitter, whatever they're doing. Just stop that short form and get on the long form so you can genuinely build that trust with the audience that they have. Because, lately it's been all Instagram fun and people have been just replicating each other. Everyone is using the same shit, same audios, same samples, same templates, same reels, same everything. So in this video, I'm just going to be quickly explaining to you how you can systemize your YouTube content, how you can package it, distribute it, how you can do everything under the sun just to get your first 1 to 30 videos out. And I'm just going to give you a quick system. I believe you might have the I believe you should have a good attention span because this video is going to be quite intricate. We're going to be talking about a lot of details, some stuff that might be hard to digest. So if you want to keep rewatching this video, by all means, just do that. Without further ado, I'm not going to basically challenge your ego any further. Let's just get right into the video. And yeah. All right. Welcome to the YouTube momentum system. Now, real quick, this breakdown explains how YouTube works as a system and overviews the 5 subsystems required to succeed. The secret to YouTube success is relentless consistency. So we need to build a system that supports consistency. Now, most content creators are stuck on Instagram making excuses about why they can't do YouTube. Like, for example, I've listed a couple here. I don't know what to talk about for 10 minutes. I don't have good equipment. I'm not good on camera. And all sort of other bullshit excuses that they can just like insert here. Now, I just want to make this very clear. YouTube is a system and it's not magic, right? There's some key elements and values you implement, which basically is inevitably going to boost your YouTube channel, whether you like it or not, right? So the goal here isn't just consistency. It's to not be inconsistent. Now, if you just shift your focus like this, right? Because I need you to know by the end of this video, you're going to be filled with a lot of knowledge, right? And I need you to know that being inconsistent genuinely will get you punished, even though if you were doing well for quite some time. And we're going to talk a bit more in detail about this. So being inconsistent is far worse than being consistent, right? Being consistent is good, but being not inconsistent is way better, right? This might not make sense to you, but hopefully it makes sense. Anyway, channel authority multipliers. Now, as a system, YouTube has an exponential nature. This means outputs compound on themselves to become inputs as a positive feedback loop forms. The more subscribers you get, the more subscribers you're going to get, right? So if you have 10,000 subscribers, it's easier to get to 20,000 subscribers than it took you from getting to 0 to 10. I think everyone can agree on this. So the same happens with money. The same happens with everything else. If you have more of something, it's easier to get up there faster because you have recognition, you have algorithm that's working for you. And then you have multipliers. Basically, this whole shit is just multipliers working in your favor. And think of it like a scale. Every time you upload a video, you're just putting a rock on the scale. Another rock, another rock, and another rock. And we're just continuously stacking as many rocks as humanly possible. The more we put in, the heavier the channel gets, which means more subscribers and opportunities. Now, if I take you here on this mirror board and I show you the scale that I just real quick to basically describe this metaphor. Now you have a scale right in front of you right here. So basically each channel, so basically this is your channel's scale, whatever this is. And if you keep adding rocks here and here and here and here and here and here, now each of these rocks might give you 1 kilogram of whatever the fuck. It could be, the AU element that we're going to be talking about in a second. So these rocks could bring in 1 AU into your 1 AU element into your channel. You can basically, they keep stacking value, one value point, one value point, one value point. Keeping in mind, if you make shitty content and if you genuinely post something that's horrible and nobody's going to watch, you can actually drop a big rock over here that's going to take -5. And that -5 will basically set you a little bit back. Now, Mr. Beast does this. Mr. Beast basically never uploads a video that's not shit, and he doesn't upload often. However, when he uploads often, he just sends a big massive rock. He uploads a big massive rock of a content, and he knows it's gonna perform because it's a very, very, very good piece of content. So Mr. Beast basically just creates this, and then he just drops it on the scale, and the scale just drops down, and he gets a lot of value points, right? And that is the kind of analogy that I want to demonstrate. So hopefully you get the picture. Now, for example, let's say you look at any successful creators analytics, you'll see they might have gained 4,000 subscribers in 1 month. That's the exponential nature kicking in, right? You wouldn't be surprised if next month that doubles again and doubles again. Well, that trajectory isn't sustainable forever, but you can ride with it. You can ride it while it lasts. So the biggest key point of something I've personally experienced, and I'm basically writing out shit from experience. So there's gonna be this one time where you're gonna post a video, it's gonna actually catch a lot of momentum. However, if you slack and not post after that video, not post a couple more videos, we're gonna get to that AU element that I really just want to drill that point home. It genuinely will ruin most of the things because it took you a lot of values to get to that video to blow up. And now once you saw it blew up, you just went complacent again and you stopped posting. So we'll get to that in 1 second. So authority stacks as a multiplier, meaning it achieves exponential growth or decline by nature. So 1 plus 1 does not equal to 2. 1 plus 1 equals 3. So when you combine two pieces of value, you don't get two pieces of value. You get exponential value, right? We can imagine videos have authority units, which is called AU, which is exactly what I'm getting into. So AU is used to measure the contribution of authority to your channel. Now, importantly, authority units are conceptual, but illustrate the point of consistency. Now, it's all pretty conceptual. However, I do believe YouTube has some sort of system that's close to this. So it's quite conceptual, but I truly believe YouTube must have a system that looks like this. And you know, it could be extremely wrong and could not have, it could have the same exact one that I'm telling you about right now. So for every video you publish, your channel becomes exponentially more valuable to YouTube and your audience. The value is there before the subscribers are. Now there is just latency in how the world works. So for example, you have a YouTube channel, you keep posting a lot of videos, and you know these videos are very, very good and they're very valuable, and you're posting shit that you wouldn't even post to your mentorship, right? Or equally as good. However, you're not getting a lot of subscribers, unless if, for example, I'm making these videos and I don't have a lot of subscribers right now. I really don't care because I know how this works out. I know how to play it out. So right now I'm adding a lot of value to the scale. However, I'm not getting a lot of people. So what's the problem here? The problem here is latency. And this latency is the fact that how long it takes between my video and my value stacks that I've been building this whole time until you guys get to come and see it, right? So that is extremely important. And that's how you fix it. You have the value, and then after quite some time, you'll get YouTube recommending you, and then you'll get all of that good stuff coming in after you get the monetization, you get the 1,000 subs, you get all that good stuff, right? So you first build the value stack, build the fountain that we've previously talked about in the other video, and then subscribers are nothing but basically a byproduct, right? It's just a consequence of the action. So if you're building huge value in your channel and it's just stacking and stacking and stacking, but you're not seeing the growth you feel you deserve, you usually just have to wait and continuously stack it. You might be growing linearly for months, then suddenly the exponential growth kicks in. Now, videos have value in two ways. Videos have value to the market when they contribute to the expansion and success of the market. For YouTube creators, this means adding people to your market, keeping people in your market, improving the lives of people in your market. So videos have value to YouTube when they get people to click and stay. So YouTube sees value in terms of money and customer experience. The more clicks and longer watch time, the more YouTube values your content. And this basically is, you can basically strategize this. So there's something that I did with my clients that generally works, and most of the time it gets them to the homepage, because once you play around the fact that you get people to watch your video and then after they finish your video, they get to stay on YouTube, usually it deems your content as very, very good, right? So how can you do that? For example, you create a very good video, piece of content that is blowing up. So I basically would implement the landing page, whatever funnel you have. However, the first video that I'll be putting in the description is watch this video as well. And this way, when people are finished watching your video, they can click on that video and they can keep on being on YouTube. And then when that happens, the algorithm and YouTube basically just deems it as a very good video, as this guy or this creator is specifically keeping people on the platform and he's paying us a lot of money. And that is basically how YouTube works, right? So your first video will give your channel an authority unit of 0.000000001. So each new video multiplies this by 2x. Now, just a quick note, the doubling rate is arbitrary. It could be slower or faster depending on your niche, but the principle remains the same. So you have video one, you post your first video on YouTube is going to basically yield this much of authority units. And then the second one is going to double, third one is going to double, 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 till you reach the 10th. Now, again, this could be faster or slower depending on your niche, but the principle remains the same here. Here you have another one. All the way, you're going to be posting all the way until you get rid of all these knots and you get to 1. So by video 31, which is quite a lot, but we're just trying to set a conceptual demonstration of what it is. So 1+ is when the algorithm starts working for you, and this is 100%, right? When you get to that point of having, let's say, 2,000 subscribers with a lot of consistent views and a lot of comments and likes, a lot of click-through rate, this is when your algorithm starts working for you. This is when almost always, whenever you post a new YouTube video, you get posted on people's recommended page because you're making YouTube money by them watching, right? So again, this is a model to illustrate the compounding nature of consistency. It's not representative of the real world, and authority units doesn't really exist or work exactly like this, but it makes sense to think of YouTube this way because this is how the algorithm thinks. So your authority compound rate will depend on the quality of your videos, your niche competition, and how well you work with the algorithm, the size of your target audience. So you can be this is something also extremely important to know. You cannot be in an algorithm, right? But you can, and you can't win against it. However, you just have to work with it. So once you figure shit out and genuinely start releasing absolute attachment emotions from the amount of views you're getting, the amount of comments you're getting, your likes, that you're getting, the click-through rate, let's say through your landing page or whatever, the moment you release it and just genuinely think of YouTube as like an absolute system that you need to work with and conquer, that's when you genuinely start to like excel in the space. And that is what most people don't even do. And by me telling you this is genuinely like one of the biggest golden advices you can ever have. Now, this might sound too cliche, too obvious, but do you think people do the obvious nowadays? Everyone's trying to look for a shortcut. So yeah, the consistency penalty. Now this is actually critical. Here's where most creators destroy their channels. So if you miss an upload that you promised on your content schedule, your channel authority units goes down to what it was for the video before the last video. So if you're on video 26 and you miss video 27, your AU doesn't stay at 26's level. It drops back to video 25's level. So hopefully that makes sense. By slacking, the punishment is real, right? By slacking of like not posting, the punishment is real. And you might think that some people genuinely don't even post as much on YouTube. However, when they do post, let's say they post one video a week, but yes, you cannot compare yourself to these people, right? Some people are just favored, some people just the algorithm picks up on. And Mr. Beast is one of those people. Whenever he creates a piece of content, it's like the rock and metaphor that I just showed you on the scale. If he creates one piece of content, it's going to be a massive rock on like the scale, which sometimes even bends the scale. So that's how important it is, right? The downside to missing an upload is double what the upside is to uploading. This way, your channel AU can exponentially decrease. With double the power increases. If you miss 6 videos, your AU goes back to what it was 12 videos ago. So I hope this point is very crystal clear. I need you to know that you genuinely need to treat this as like some sort of gospel. When you have a content schedule, I need you to stick to it and not slack for one day. So if you say that you're going to be posting 3 videos a week, then I really like urge you to stick to your schedule, because if you miss an upload, you're going to fuck yourself. I'm sorry for cursing, but that is the truth. So this is how YouTube's algorithm works. It rewards consistency by exponentially growing a channel, but punishes inconsistency by 2xing that exponential decline. Let's say you missed video 11, video 12, and video 13 because you didn't have time or didn't know what to talk about. Now your AU goes back to 0.128, and you have to rebuild. Now you've doubled the time needed to get back to where you were. So once you go back, we agree to go 2x back. So when you get to that point, you're going to need double the input to get back to where you were, right? And basically, this is why content creators give up on YouTube. They don't give their channel enough time to compound and reach 1+ AU, where the algorithm starts pushing their content. They make 5 videos, they get 47 views, and quit. That is the truth. If you upload shit content, low CTR, low watch time, doesn't provide value to the market, your channel AU goes down to what it was before the last video. Your channel AU can exponentially decrease by uploading garbage. And I think this doesn't need further explanation. I think we all agree here. YouTube wants to make sure before they really start pushing you and recommending you everywhere that you're extremely valuable. So they need to test you first. Think about it. If you're making videos that are subpar, YouTube needs to stop recommending you. They want to know their partners are extremely heavy in terms of value before they really partner with someone and start pushing them everywhere. So if you start creating shitty ass content and YouTube basically is already pushing you on the recommended pages, if you don't keep up your standard, your quality standard, it will get to a point where you're genuinely going to stop getting pushed on the recommended page. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get partnered with YouTube, and once you get partnered with YouTube, they're going to start to want to advertise on your channel, and when they advertise on your channel, people are going to buy more, their sales go up. So if someone like you isn't performing and he's not giving YouTube what they want, then under no man's land are you actually going to get on the recommended page, because now you're producing shitty content. So I need you to keep this in your mind whenever you're creating a piece of content. Just, keep this in the back of your head. So this is also why increasing your upload frequency exponentially grows your channel faster. Every video you upload increases the AU, and please stick to the AU. I'm not talking shit here, right? I need you to genuinely take my word for it. Take someone who uploads 3 videos per week plus 10 shorts per week, right? If you upload at 3x the speed, your channel grows exponentially at 3x the speed. That's 13 pieces of content per week versus someone doing 1 video per week. Now, lately there's been a clipping business, and it's basically people that are clipping agencies. They're clippers, where they would get a couple of people and they would be clipping for a certain type of creator. And I'm not going to explain the business module. However, they be clipping for a certain type of creator, and then that creator is basically going to be wait, hold on, let me fix the camera. Should be, because the sun is kissing you guys. All right, something like this should work. All right, so basically the creator is paying these clippers for every single 1,000 videos they get, 1,000 views they get, and the whole point is that they're building awareness, right? Say for example, this creator is getting about 20,000 views per day from like 8 different accounts, and they're all just posting shorts. That's exactly what algorithm is. You can post as much as possible, and it all just indicates and it refeeds into the loop of your exponential growth, right? The more you post, the more you get recognition, and that's a fact. You cannot argue against facts. So with that being said, we're basically going to be posting 3 videos per week, posting 10 shorts. And usually my advice to people that is, in like the content creation niche, and my clients usually, is that I would create 1 YouTube video and I'll create 3 shorts around that video. So this way, you're going to be summarizing 3 key points from the main video, and then afterwards, what happens is you never run out of videos to talk about. Because if you create 1 YouTube video, that feeds into your shorts. And if you create shorts, it feeds into your YouTube video. And it keeps the loop going on and on. And if you post 3 long form content per week, 3 times 3, which is going to be 9, and then there you have it. You have 9 shorts per week, right? 9 shorts per week, 3 long form videos. These videos, you're just talking about your YouTube video that you created, and you just basically summarize it. And then at the end of the video, at the short, you just CTA people to go watch that YouTube video. It's pretty simple. So there we go. Now, the machine or the system. YouTube isn't magic. Hopefully we've established this by now. It's a system that looks like this, right? So ideas into algorithm plus time equals subscribers plus opportunities. So like I've explained before, ideas into the algorithm. So you have a lot of value stacked, right? But you don't have a lot of subscribers. And that is the problem, you might think. So however, what you do is that you're not going to be an idiot and you won't just stop posting because you're not getting views, right? Instead, what you should be doing is just consistently be refining, consistently be posting again and again and again. And even though you're not getting views, at least you're getting the value meter stacked up. And that is very important. So once that all is done, you get the subscribers at the end of it. It's a byproduct, right? It's a consequence of the action that you've created. So that's basically it, really. The algorithm is the process, your content is the input. Subscribers and opportunities are the output. YouTube and time do all the heavy lifting for you. So if you want to succeed on YouTube, you just need to learn how to create valuable, useful content consistently. This is the system YouTube requires to produce consistent content. So there's 5 processes required in this. Whew. All right, it's been a long one. There's idea, process, idea, into the process, to upload, feedback, and repeat. So if I can possibly make a drawing of this, let's say for example, let's just copy this real quick. And let's say I'll just post it right here. Right. So here we go. We have idea. So we're going to have ideas go into the process. And then this all goes into uploading. Now, what happens is, this is 1, 2, 3. These are the stages. And then what happens is that you get feedback, right? You get feedback out of after you post the video. Once you get the feedback, what happens is that you start repeating. And it's pretty simple stuff. So idea, process, the idea of creating the content, what to talk about. Then you get it in process, you get it in writing, you get it in script, whatever you want to get it in. You start talking about the content, you start talking about the piece in more detail. You upload it, and then after quite some time, you get metrics. Take the metrics, you get the feedback. If people love it, people hate it, people don't agree with it, people have a problem with it. You can almost always just focus on that whole metrics factor, and you can get a lot of feedback, and everything is just feedback, and then you repeat the process again, and it's very fucking simple. So yeah, these are the 5 processes required in the system. So we have ideation, creation, storage, packaging, distribution. So ideation is the process for coming up with the video ideas, creative ones with unique angles. Creation is the process for filming raw videos. How do we take an idea and actually create it? And storage is process for organizing raw and edited videos. Where do we put everything? So packaging is process for editing thumbnails, titles, and descriptions, and how do we make it look good? Distribution is process for uploading and promoting videos, and how do we get it out there? So these things you might say, oh, I can just like easily get on YouTube and I'll just like upload, right? And I can just like put the video in there, but no, that's absolutely wrong. You need to think of a title, you need to think of a thumbnail, you need to add the tags, you need to work on everything, and then YouTube is going to take a lot of time. Maybe you have a shitty internet and it's going to take a lot of time for the video to be uploaded. And then until the video gets processed by YouTube, which takes ages in order for it to get processed. And then all of that stuff is just going to basically, like, I'm speaking so fast right here, but I just need you to know that distribution is not just like simply clicking, because then you're going to have to feed it into your other medias. You're going to have to post it on story. You're going to have to post it on your YouTube channel. Sorry, you're going to have to post it on your Telegram channel if you have one. Your email sequence, you're going to have to write an email around it and then post it on your email newsletter. And then you're just going to be having to notify everyone. If you have a LinkedIn as well, it goes on there as well. So yeah, packaging is, creating the thumbnails, editing it, titles, descriptions, and trying to find the perfect keywords that would go well with your videos. I wouldn't recommend you actually stress it. However, it's just right there. There are some people you can just copy simply, and hopefully maybe I'll make a video about this very soon. So yeah, we have system optimization. To understand how to optimize this system, you need to understand these concepts. So there is throughput, bottlenecks, yield, and latency. Let's go through throughput real quick. So throughput is basically the flow of value through your system, which is basically the ideas, the creation, the ideation, everything in there, right? Imagine like there's a pipe flowing with water, and that is basically everything that there is. How many videos can you actually produce from an idea to distribution? So what is the latency in between the idea when it pops in your head and you want to create it, into actually you executing on that idea? And then bottlenecks is points in your system where content creation gets stuck. You might have lots of ideas, but struggle with distribution, right? So for example, you have an idea, you don't know how to execute on it, you don't know how to word it, you don't know how to create a video around it. So this is where you bottleneck, right? And yield. Yield is the amount of videos you actually publish versus how many you plan to publish, restricted by bottlenecks. So as you can see, these all tie together, and your yield must almost always be 100%. If you say you're going to upload three videos a week, 3 long form content a week, and let's say 10 to 13 shorts, then I implore you to stick to it. Genuinely speaking, just stick to it so you can have 100% yield. That's pretty much it, right? Imagine if every time you had an idea, everything was automatically done. That would be perfect yield and zero bottleneck. And me personally, I don't struggle with creating content. I'm very good. I've been coaching content. I've been doing a lot of good stuff with content. I've basically grown out YouTube channels. I've grown out other channels. And genuinely speaking, I'm basically recording all of this in one go. And I know how to speak, I know how to talk to a camera, I know how to do everything. And I've never even recorded a YouTube video before, right? Why? Because I'm so fucking good at it. I think I'm a natural. However, that's besides the point. You have an idea, you shut your eyes for 2 seconds, and suddenly the video is out on YouTube, scheduled and everything's done. No time bottlenecks, perfect yield. If you can imagine this, if you can genuinely speaking have absolutely zero bottlenecks, zero latency in between the time between having a video idea and it getting published, then this is when you genuinely excel. That's it. That's what basically separates you from other competitors, aside of obviously what kind of content you post and what is inside of that content. So here's what it looks like. Ideas, ideation, creation, storage, packaging, distribution, and then published videos. And the key to consistency is making all these steps as frictionless as possible, right? So most content creators have massive bottlenecks. For example, I've mentioned a couple of few ones here. The biggest bottlenecks that usually I encounter sometimes, and I get like, I hear about, and number one is I don't know what to talk about. And this is an ideation bottleneck. I don't have good equipment. It's a creation bottleneck. Editing takes too long. Packaging, basically, packaging bottleneck. I don't know how to make thumbnails. Packaging bottleneck, right? I need you to understand one thing. These aren't real problems. They're system problems that can be solved, right? Your upload schedule needs to be this holy thing that you follow no matter what. It needs to be constantly going. Think of it like this. You're some sort of Christian that's, you know, you go to church on Sunday every single week. And you need to go there unless you're extremely ill. So unless you're extremely ill, you won't be able to make it, right? And this is basically quite evident. So what you need to do, my advice, is genuinely be always on schedule with your content. And I usually like to record in advance, and this is what I like to tell my clients. Record in advance. You never know what happens, and always stay on par with your AU values, your authority units, and always stay on par with whatever the fuck you want to do. So if you recorded one video this week, you have 2 more to record, get them done by tomorrow. It's pretty simple stuff. You don't need to complicate looking good on the camera, changing your t-shirt because you recorded in it last time, or changing your fit, or changing the background, or doing this or no one cares. Genuinely. I don't think you should care. You're not a YouTuber, you're a business. So that's the whole point of this video. You're not trying to be the next vlogger. That would be a different story. So the results speak for themselves, right? Creators who follow the system start booking 20 to 30 appointments per day through just YouTube alone. On a Sunday, that could be 26 appointments. If you were to pay for those through ads, it would cost you $3,000 or more. YouTube isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent and working with the algorithm, not against it. So build the system, reduce the friction, and stop making excuses, right? So this about sums up everything that I've been talking about in this video. If you want this doc, DM me down on Instagram. I'm going to be plugging my Instagram. DM me on Instagram and I'll send it over to you, right? I'll make sure to hook it up. I'm not going to obviously sell you on anything. I'm genuinely going to give it to you for free. And it's just a way of getting bigger in the space, right? I'm going to provide as much value as I possibly can. And there's going to be a lot of more videos coming about YouTube mainly. Since a lot of people aren't really concerned about YouTube and they think that Instagram is the shit, they're all going broke now, right? So let's just build systems. Let's do it the right way. And let me show you how you can do it. If you're a creator and if you're interested in actually getting your systems built and, you know, get more like this and get something like this and more, and way more, some systems that I've personally created, also, you can DM me on Instagram, and everything is going to be down below. So I hope you like this video, and without further ado, like and comment down below and let me know what you think. Yeah, share it with your best friends, share it with the Matrix agents. Bye.